We have much in common, you and I.
So LeBlanc's reveal in Legends of Runeterra has disappointed a lot of people, thinking she's way too simple for her character. But is her design really that bad? Let's talk this out. LeBlanc is the matron of the Black Rose, a secret organization which has shaped the history of Noxus and many other nations by manipulating leaders and rewriting events since centuries ago. In order to safely pull these strings without being caught, she has shrouded herself in the most cryptic of mysteries, using different names and appearances so her existence itself can't be traced. She has been secretly in control of Noxus by corrupting their leader, Boram Darkwill, to the point of him not being anything more than a puppet, but after Swain killed him and rose to power, he redesigned the political structure so the Black Rose could interfere no longer. For the first time now, she's not in complete control of the situation, but she's nowhere near to being defeated, and she's already planning her next move. We will talk a bit more about her figure in a second, but this is enough to understand why she carries the epithet of the Deceiver, she who controls everything from the shadows, always one step ahead. When we go to Legends of Runeterra, it's not that difficult to understand why she can be seen as a bit bland when all of her power is encapsulated in a merely 5-2 with quick attack and synergies with dealing 5+ damage. She could have had some kind of reverse predict in which you modify the order in which your enemy draws their cards, or implement trap cards or secrets that resolve when the enemy does something, or secretly create ephemeral clones of herself making the enemy guess who is the real one, and hundreds of other possible designs players have already shared. But we only got a 5-2 with quick attack! The community was shocked and disappointed, calling her the biggest failure of a champion design in Legends of Runeterra. Now I ask, was she? Legends of Runeterra has always expanded on the lore of champions when they get released, and with LeBlanc we have known a lot more about the Black Rose that we didn't know. We pretty much only knew LeBlanc, Vladimir, Elise and Cassiopeia were part of the Order, but now we know there are many other members such as the Black Rose Spy, Thorn of the Rose, and those many others who appear fighting over some business in LeBlanc's level 1 art. However, as you could expect from LeBlanc, nothing is what it seems. We get the big reveal when she levels up. If you watch closely, when the crystal in her staff shifts, the reflections from all the other members turn into reflections of LeBlanc, and the whole truth about her is seen in the full art. Blanc's plottings could have not succeeded if it wasn't for her calling as a sorceress. She's expert in illusion magic. She manifests her power in two ways. First, doppelgangers. She can create and control copies of herself to literally appear to anyone, anywhere in the world, increasing her reach, quite literally. And second, mimicry. She also has the power of disguising herself and her clones as a perfect copy of anyone, being able to involve people in whatever affairs she wants by faking being them herself. It's like she has the perfect deepfake generator to back up her fake news. However, the weakness of her mimicry is that all of her disguises can be seen through and reflected. Her level 2 art is the reflection that can be seen in the table in which the members are gathered around. She literally describes these two gifts she carries with one of her level up quotes.
I am everywhere. I am everyone.
LeBlanc's power has been subject of one of the biggest conspiracies in League of Legends lore, even though it has already been retconned in an event that might have been retconned too. Long story short, before the retcon, Swain and LeBlanc were allies, and having LeBlanc taken the disguise of Jarvan IV, they staged a battle which would stain Demasia's reputation. All of this while Jarvan IV's reflection in Swain's old designed chestplate was showing LeBlanc instead of the then Prince of Demacia. But what does all of this have to do with the design of LeBlanc in Legends of Runeterra? Basically, with the realization that everyone in LeBlanc's art are not real members of the Black Rose, but instead copies of LeBlanc herself to widen, retain and hold her power in the Order, we can't really be sure about who is not LeBlanc. Black Rose Spy could actually be a LeBlanc doppelganger. Thorn of the Rose could be actually another LeBlanc. This guy appearing on the Art of Bloody Business? Yep, could be LeBlanc. And with all of this, are we even sure about LeBlanc actually being the true LeBlanc? In League of Legends, this is her champion icon, but when you see the whole art, you discover that it was a copy and she's actually elusively fleeing behind. But what if that LeBlanc is not the true LeBlanc either? Is there such a thing as a true LeBlanc? You could say only the real LeBlanc wears the tiara on her forehead, as for some reason she seems unable to replicate it. But we can never expect to know what's in her mind, and faking a weakness to make others believe they have cracked her code could be something she would be very capable of doing. LeBlanc is constantly tricking you, mimicking your magic and using it against you, and when you finally catch her, she still strikes before you get to put your finger on her. Her network of spies and agents brings her all the tools she needs, and if you manage to kill her,
Are you certain?
she reappears back safely through Black Rose Spy. Your attempts were futile. The point is not whether Black Rose Spy or Thorn of the Rose are real or just LeBlanc copies, not even whether LeBlanc is real LeBlanc or not. The focus of the attention should be that whatever is going on, she is behind all of it. When you choose to confront her, you will not be fighting against her, but against the whole machinery of obscure plotting she surrounded herself with, covered in the thickest of mists. A blatant attempt to deceive is easy to see, but no one would suspect trickery from a simple stat line. She's okay with people thinking she's disappointing like this. She has big plans, and her physical form is just a tool to achieve her goals, just another piece in the game she's in complete control of. All of this hidden behind a quick attack 5-2 and behind her sly smirk. And the best of it all? Every single piece of information in this video could be completely wrong, because LeBlanc might have something else in her mind, hidden to us and to our understanding, and this is only what she wants everyone to believe. Tell me in the comments what you think about LeBlanc's design, and what would you have done differently. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next one.
Be seeing you.